I've heard it said, read it in books, and gotten raised eyebrow looks, and I'm really starting to believe that this phrase that we've cooked up is true. Yes, indeed, size does matter. Whether yours is longer, stronger, fatter, thinner, thicker, or quicker. Don't be too quick to snicker about the less than desirable traits of others, because there will always be someone out there to show you up. In fact, I am perhaps the most privileged child of my generation, because growing up, I had the most spectacularly, gigantically oversized sandbox in my backyard. I mean, if we were to have a sandbox competition, you might as well go home right now. Yeah, size does matter. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "What you do speaks so loudly I cannot hear you." Peter Nevlin contends that words, thoughts, and actions are synonymous. And when we better understand their interrelationship, our rhetoric can have a deeper impact on the world around us with better. Size does matter. No one taught me to write. And the greatest slam poet you ever heard of, by Peter Nevlin. Let me put it to you this way. Bigger sandbox equals more fun. Me and my brother would spend hours, days, months, plunging our little fingers into that golden, moist goodness. Constructing deep, underground vast arrays, laying out crazy city planning, and occasionally herding poor six-legged victims into pits of destruction where hungry antlions waited to rip them limb from limb. But there was something bigger and badder in the backyard in those days, threatening to ruin the eternal bliss of our backyard paradise. And no matter how hard we squeeze our eyes and pray, try to get away or keep the danger that was creeping into our mind at bay, we knew when we heard our mother's sweet, sickly voice say, "You know what I want you two boys to do for me today?" We were doomed. Pretty soon we'd be toiling away under the beating, hot Texas sun pulling weeds. Of course, it didn't take long to transform our garden hell into an African jungle with two famous explorers hacking their way to their triumphant meeting, defeating their enemies and occasionally one another with flying dirt-clawed bombs. "Hey, look at this weed, it's huge." "Mine bigger." "Nuh-uh, yeah, huh? Well, why don't you eat them both and find out?" Pop! Sometimes just being my brother with that weed made the days that much better. No one told me I could write. Not a shoelace instruction on how to tie on these sandals of flight. And it was tight and conforming, my expectation wetsuit, made to keep me warm against the vast oceans of experience. And there was innocence and purity pit against the insidious peer pressure to pull the wool bull, full of craving vain, waning pain. I abstained from the pleasure trains because I chose a life instead of isolation and disconnection, adult affection, because as a kid I didn't fit in. I wanted to do things correctly, perform my pieces perfectly, follow the law of discipline set forth by my family, my church, my school, and my God. But no one told me I could write. Now please hear me right. I didn't grow up fighting an abusive father, and I didn't have to endure a loose-lipped, wide-hipped mother. My older brother was the model of responsibility. My sisters had loving husbands and families. We didn't live in a rotting neighborhood covered with twisted metal wires. We stared at the homeless lit trash can fires, the crafty thieving liars, the addictive smoke spires and their triers, and the sick children they undoubtedly sired. No, we dwelt in the pleasantly bland space between two urban city hubs. We shared our family's love. We sang rub-a-dub-dub in the bathtub. And every night, when I laid my little head down to rest, my parents would pray for me. And I'm thankful to God for every one of those memories. But no one told me I could write. And I tried to construct math and science combination contraptions, and I'm good with numbers and solutions, the evolution of difficult technical problems. It pays in coiny ways, garners praise from corporate slaves, proud pastors, raves from teachers, friendly neighbors, success cravers, and all 31 flavors except the one I was made for. I like my job, but it leaves me empty, leaving me unfulfilled and searching for more, a chore, trying to unlock the locked drawer, pummeling war against the scrawny news spirit. Because no one told me I could write, and I will not stop tonight. I will stay till the light in me mixes with the dawn's golden rays. My insipid, rigid skin shell left behind, facing precipice edges with weightless anticipation. And I will fly, not deny, prophesy to my nation, in oration of gruesome wit and tragic grit. Are you down with it? Because it doesn't matter a bit to me. Because I know the one who sees and is pleased with my personality. It is by him, his boldness, that I am here today, free of fear and regulation. No one told me I could write. He's walking through the stage. What's he going to say? The most amazing slam poet you ever heard. Weaned on the coal-fired curds of Black-toothed mountains, lava fire fountains, spewing smoking destruction on the onlookers. Their fingers taut against the undersides of tables, bleacher benches, the pew, sitting faithful with wide-eyed, quivering lips. While all the other challengers just flipped out and ran at the sound of his pounding, steel-toed sentences, tearing down their puny imaginations with one flick of his tongue. He's so good any other slammer would risk verbal castration, performance suicide against the onslaught of an unstoppable foe. So you might as well suit up and shove your fat jowls in for the ride, because there's no escaping from his unleashed microphone fury-filled, iron will sensually appealing power of the most amazing slam poet you ever heard. Turn judges' cards to the 10th, to the 10th, to the 10th. Are you tracking with me, people? Really high scores. And don't even think for 1 minute I'm talking about myself. Because he'd shrivel my shaggy red-haired wilderness to a walnut thing I used to call a brain. No, I'm just the warm-up to the 4th string splinter puller, to the 3rd string pine rider, to the 5th string water spit bottle carrier, to the replacement understudy too. The greatest slam poet you have ever heard. But the most amazing slam poet I've ever heard didn't say anything. She couldn't even speak. She was too weak and incapacitated to utter a sound or even rise from her bed. All the mental synapses in her head riddled with 8 years worth of full of Alzheimer's bullet holes. But every memory or ability stolen from her body couldn't stop the joy explosion in her eyes every time that we would arrive. And it wasn't just inside her, it was around her, flowing through her. Her mind's gone, and body feeble, but she had something that made her human, made her godlike, gave her treasure that nothing on earth or in heaven could ever take away. She didn't need to say anything. The wealth and beauty of her life spoke more volumes than any poet could ever hope to pen. My grandmother knew what it meant to live, even in the face of suffering that seemed to have no end. So it's my turn, and the real performance of my life has begun. I'll remember how she won the race, her adventurous pace of living fearlessly, forever cheating the grave. Speak to me every time I turn the page and walk on this stage. Now the mic is yours. And what are you going to say?